Ladies and gentlemen, it's now come time for our main event of the evening. 3 rounds of action for the WMO South African National Pro-Am title in the Super Welterweight division. I'm joined in the ring by the General Secretary of the South African Muay Thai organization, Mr. Soos Grobelaar, showing off the spectacular title. Your referee in charge of the action at the bell will be Jean-Ray Blaine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the first of our 2 combatants vying for the vacant title. Fighting out of the blue corner in Cape Town, Ryan Cockeran. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent fighting out of Thaiholics, Deacon. This is our main event of the evening. 3 rounds of action for the South African National Championship Pro-Am rules, and it's sanctioned by the World Muay Thai Organization. 3 rounds of 3 minutes in the Super Welterweight division. Introducing to you first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner. Age of 20 years old, 1.81 meters he stands, 69.4 kilograms on the scale, with a record of 11 wins, 4 losses. 5 of those wins coming by way of a knockout. He fights out of Pride Fighting Academy and Stellenbosch by way of Cape Town. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ryan the Lion Cockeran. And his opponent will be working out of the red corner at 26 years old. He stands 1.83 meters tall. Weighing in at 69.2 kilograms. His Pro-Am record stands at 2 wins against a single loss. Fighting out of Thaiholics and representing Cape Town, South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shane Deacon. Right, so let's cut straight to it. We both train in the same gym as each one of these two in the ring right now. Let's start with you. Shane Deacon, obviously I've watched his last fight. I'm aware of what he does. To anyone watching Shane Deacon for the first time, to his friends and family, reinforce who is Shane Deacon that you know.
To me, Shane's one of the most come-forward, Muay Thai stylistic fighters that I know. Always like in your face. Doesn't matter if I'm putting pressure on him and I'm weighing 30 kgs more. I mean, even if you look at the stare down, there's no backing down. I mean, how can you get in between these guys? They obviously cut from the same cloth, cut the same haircut. Both got rocking their mullets.
Have we ever had two mullets in the same place at the same time? Well, not in Benoni, but I'm sure in Cape Town it's a bit harder to find. Yeah, like I know Ryan. I've been watching him train for a long time. Compact, powerful, but effortless power. You don't notice it coming, but when you get hit with a teep, you're flying backwards. When you get hit with an elbow, you're ducking and diving. He's a strong worker. He's been, through an intense camp, and I'm sure that Shane Deacon has. I'm a big appreciator of Shane Deacon. I love his style. I also love Ryan Cockeran's style, and these two are going to meld together to bring us an absolute classic. I guarantee you.
Super composed, that's what you get from both these fighters. I've been watching them in the weigh-ins, I've been watching them backstage now. Neither of them, they're not going through the motions in their heads. They're super calm, they know what they need to do, hitting the pads and just going through the work that they need to do. You're going to see it now.
Meet in the middle, and here we go, round number one. The WMO South African National Junior Middleweight title is on the line. Cockeran opens up with a 1-2, Deacon responds with a kick to the elbow. Once again, the socks are off, the elbow pads stay on. Deacon eats a couple for staying in the same place, courtesy of Cockeran and his right hand.
And just when I was saying that Shane has one of those Muay Thai stylism going about, and he also has a very slow start. So like you can see that from the beginning. He likes to stay on the outside, he uses teeps, but as he starts to warm up and get through, you're going to see a little bit of him opening up, and hopefully we'll see a little bit of elbow game going on as well.
The height difference is quite profound. Well caught there on the elbows by Ryan Cockeran. Ryan Cockeran said to me before the fight, I said, how are you going to approach this? He said, I'm going to stand there and I'm going to wage war with him. I'm going to go toe-to-toe, and there's going to be no backing down. And so far, he's lived up to the hype.
Yeah, the first minute's just been all actions. Guys were going at it. Shane actually, interestingly, for a change on the back foot, yeah. I think that's obviously got to do with the style of his opponent, just coming forward and rushing. I mean, we're seeing him put his chin out, hands up, he's just throwing forward, but you can see he's eating a few of those big shots to the body.
I like what Shane is doing, though. I like the way that he's teeping forward, and I like the way that he's attacking with the legs. I think that's going to pay for the taller fighter, but not if Cockeran is closing the distance like he is there right now.
Yeah, Ryan just needs to be careful as well. Similar to in the last fight, what we had was Luan coming out very aggressively, and then by the middle of the second round, hands were down, breathing heavy. Although this is only a 3-round fight, the guys still need to make sure that they regulate the pace of their fight and not blow themselves out in that first 20 seconds.
That's the problem, is often, just like the last fight, you're left wondering, what would 5 rounds do to these guys? We need to see them in 5 rounds. We need to see them take those elbow pads off and join us in pro ranks next year.
100%. And I think what you'd see there is that the guys would actually start to calm down a little bit more in the first round. Whoa! Nice sweep there from Shane.
Effortless, effortless, effortless.
A nice barrel roll from Ryan to show he's not affected by it, even though he got caught unawares.
Exactly, so that's point scoring.
It's body language as well.
Yes. Okay, so as much Ryan rolling his way out of that was to show positive body language, that he didn't get caught unawares.
Well, he obviously did because he got swept, but it's more to show that even though he did that, he's not letting it get to him. He's springing back up, rolling out, and just showing that he's still game, he's still in the fight.
Chop!
Very difficult one for the judges to score here.
Neither guy are hard to find. They're standing in front of each other, and as this heats up, I can see round 2 and 3 going off the chain here at the Grand West Casino and Entertainment World in Cape Town. Thaiholics Fight Promotions. The main event, Cockeran versus Deacon for all the marbles.
Starting to see Shane move his head around a little bit. He's eyeing out his opponent. You can see he's starting to get in the zone. Nice little appreciation for each other at the end of the round.
Both fighters are going to be reasonably happy with the way that they started.
Yeah, definitely. I think difficult one to score. We're going to see what the judges are going to say there.
Shall we leave this to the judges? Shall we not offer
For once. Seeing as though I've got my packet of peanuts here that Mike left behind. By the way, Mike is cornering this fight. His fighter, Ryan Cockeran. That's why you're not hearing his silky smooth voice on the mic at the moment.
Yeah, you might be hearing the rattling in his pants. It's a bag of nuts that he stole from the table for winning the judging scorecards competition that we were running today on the table. And yeah, Mike's been working long and hard. You know, he goes through a lot of camps with a lot of fighters at the same time, and it's different modes. It's a big heavyweight who's going to be fighting in boxing. It's Ryan Cockeran himself. It's MMA fighters. It's hosting his own fight card next week at the Hope Street Market. You know, it's all systems go for Mike. It's difficult to be a coach and be dragged into so many different directions by so many different disciplines. Here he is, main event. It's for the South African national title. And Cockeran, very much a live prospect in this one. Deacon looking good. Neither guy breathing too hard.
Neutral corner, please. Neutral corner there.
Yeah, I think we're going to start seeing the guys separate out a bit now and see who's willing to come and bring that A game. See if we can get a little bit more explosive from both guys. Although Ryan was super explosive in the first round.
You need to go to the fridge, send somebody else to do it for you. Round 2 is about to pick up.
I'd like to see Shane catching a few more kicks. I think he's also content, just like Izzy was, to maybe try and check. There we get one catch now. And from this catch, get those sweeps, because the judges are counting that. Good
Cockeran
go.
starting off strong here in the second round.
Yeah, as I say, good go forward from him. Again, throwing that abandon, the hands are coming forward, throwing multiple strikes at the same time. That, again, for an opponent like Shane, who's pretty calm and pretty chilled, that's the kind of thing you need to do. You need to throw them off their base, make sure that they are uncomfortable.
That calm and chill was something that stunned me. When I was announcing, I was looking straight at him. I thought he was asleep at one point. You know, his eyes were closed. He was just in the zen. He was in the zone, and now he's in the fire. Midway through round number 2.
Yeah, I think that's just Shane's style. You know, he's a very calm, collected guy. But once he starts opening up, like I said, he's going to start throwing it, and the power comes through.
Here we go, the tough guy competition that we were waiting to see.
The mullet off.
Yeah.
Cocktail.
Tow trucks in the back, mullet in the front. Let's go.
Seeing Cockeran starting to slow down a little bit now, showing a little bit of fatigue. He's not out of it, still in there. Shane also obviously taking a bit of strain there. Needs to maybe look for those big body kicks again.
Both corners very animated with what's going on. Their perception that their man is on top.
I think Cochran's walking into a lot of their strikes, even if they hit him on the arms. Remember, in Muay Thai, you're breaking that posture, you're hitting that hard. That's counting. It's not K1 where you can, you know, check with your arms, deflect, and have no score. That's a score.
And catching it on your arms, you're still catching it with a part of your body.
For sure. And there's no suck in here. I think, again, like in the last fight, for both guys, this might be the first time that they're actually experiencing it. And you can start to see now that fatigue starts to show.
Good jab from Cockeran, reminding Shane that he can't come in just with his face first and chin hung out forward.
Ooh. Also surprised after the last fight from Shane, we haven't seen any sweeps in the clinch the way we did the last time.
I just don't think that Cochran's offering it up. He's not staying there long enough in order for Shane to try and catch him. Also, Cochran's got a low center of gravity in comparison. He must be difficult to actually get off his feet.
Yeah, heavy base. You can see like he's actually putting his weight on him, even though he's the shorter fighter. Ooh, he's got to be careful not to duck his head down there and catch a knee.
What timing by Shane Deacon, putting Cockeran on his back, onto the ropes.
Good deflection from Cockeran as well, just to not allow his opponent to fly in on him with that knee.
Cockeran goes straight back to work, though. He wants the judges to forget about that.
Finishing the round strong. Ooh, teep to the face. Traditionally very cheeky in a Muay Thai fight. Thais don't like getting teeped in the face, and you'll see some aggression come out after that usually.
Hands raised by Shane Deacon. He reckons he has round number 2 in the bag. Again, I hate to be a judge right now, man. This is becoming increasingly difficult.
I think what was working really well for him was those switch kicks, hitting the body of Cockeran, taking his forward momentum away, and what was working for Cockeran was getting that momentum. So, you know, they're both forward pressure fighters, but I think in this time we're seeing a little bit of Shane on the back foot and using his defensive strikes to try and keep Cockeran at bay.
Yeah, that little salvo that was close in, the knees were landing from both guys very powerfully. And you could see just by the slow-mos, both guys getting marked up pretty extensively now.
Yeah, definitely. And they're good teep. See that flying knee that he avoided by putting out his leg? It's good awareness there from Cockeran.
Fantastic fight that we have for the main event for the WMO South African National Super Welterweight Championship. Final round about to go down. Cockeran versus Deacon. It's been very interesting. It's been a tough guy competition. They haven't been hard to find. They've been standing in front of each other and giving us what we want. The crowd live and you guys at home.
Just trying to read their body language again now. Shane looking quite intense. Ryan still looking quite calm. Be interesting to see how this third round plays out. Third and final round. I think that's something I was expecting Shane to throw some knees as Cockeran comes in.
Cockeran scored with those. He parries the kick. He responds with a right hand over the top.
Big elbow.
He's now trying to keep Deacon pinned in that corner, lets him out.
Shane looking for the inside elbows as well. Getting pushed around, finding little inside knees, little nut elbows.
Ribs meet kneecap.
Oh, nice deep time ball.
The timing from Shane Deacon has just been an absolute joy.
Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere as well. Like as you're about to throw a strike, he's there just in time. Oi, a big sweep, big sweep, and now you can see the tiredness getting up. The hands are down. Cochran's gonna feel that that sweep. Sorry.
It's effortless and it comes out of nowhere. Deacon dishing up a great third round. Cochran's going to have to do a bit of work to get back into this. I don't know how the other judges have seen the first 2 rounds, but Deacon looking on top so far. It's tossed to the ground.
Yeah, definitely. Again, he's getting that fatigue, so that's how come we saw him get swept there, because he's looking tired. He's on the back foot for a change, and I think Shane needs to capitalize on that, get a few more sweeps in, some big kicks, maybe step in with an elbow, use the advantage of Cockeran not coming in.
Cockeran beginning to look fatigued here deep into round number 3, halfway left to go.
But he's still throwing, he's still in there. Definitely fatigued, but he's going back to base. He's K1 style, multiple strikes up top and finishing with a nice leg kick.
Both fighters now starting to have. Deacon joins Cockeran on the tide train.
Oh, Shane showing a little bit of tough style. He's like, not phased, kick me as much as you want, punch. Oh, teep to the face.
Just whizzing past the ear of Cockeran. He's got to really get on his bike now.
In those last minutes, again, like we said, it's the judges are looking for who's finishing strong. So they've got to turn it up if they want to impress the judges in this last round.
Is anyone capable of opening the taps for 40 seconds here in round number 3?
I think both of these guys have it. Despite the fatigue that they're showing, I think they're showing a lot of heart at the same time, and that's what we're going to see now in this final 30.
This is what title fights are all about, and this is what we come for.
I think they need to switch up the urgency as well. We saw Shane allowing him to just turn out there. He needs to maybe put a little bit of pressure on, or as you say, that he goes for a flying knee.
Good counter jab.
Nice check. Very Thai style, playing around in the ring, having fun. That's what it's all about.
Mike Menemone imploring Cockeran, hands, hands, hands. 3 in the bag, fantastic fight. We're going to have a winner, I think.
And a great show from the guys there.
All respect here at the end.
I think Shane is body positive, and he's showing that he thinks he took that one. But I think it's super close. I wouldn't want to call this right now from the mic here. Cockeran put a lot of pressure on him. You can see from their bodies, both of them touched up, marked up. So yeah, let's see what the judges have to say.
After 3 rounds of pulsating bell-to-bell action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Your winner coming by way of unanimous decision victory And the new WMO South African National Pro-Am champion of the super welterweight division, fighting out of Thaiholics, Shane Deacon. Presenting Shane Deacon with the belts, the General Secretary for the South African Muay Thai organization, Source Grobelaar.